It's just that you gotta look at what white people were mystics. What? So when I say Caucasian, right in the words Caucasian, we're putting our cocks inside Asians. But I'm always saying this to say that it was white people that called black people niggers. They were originally Negroes. They couldn't just call them Negroes. They had to go against it and turn that negative. Same way they turned their own selves negatives against what's closest to their pigment of skin, which was Asians, Caucasians. White people were the people who went out of itself and then conquered itself. Originally, you shouldn't, and it's your mind that it's your mind that you have to conquer. In order to be a sage, you have to conquer your own mind. They say divide and conquer. But true sages look at their mind as a tool. And the mind is a conqueror. The mind is the conqueror. The mind is what destroys everything. The mind is what goes in front of everything, says I'm equal and greater than this. Your mind is what's limited as a conqueror, since it doesn't want to step out of its own conqueror nature. Then it can't live without its own self. 99.9% of people can't live without their own mind. That's why a sage tells you just for a second, live without your own mind, and you'll see that you can. But the mind doesn't want to, and the mind's gonna tell you 1,000 other things against what the sage is saying. So that those people are not going to get a glimpse of what a sage is in this life. They're not even going to get a glimpse of it. The sage's role is to give you a glimpse of it. Every sage of the past has that common function, to give you a glimpse into the eyes of God. I'd like to tackle the way that people eat. Everything in the world is available to you. Everything's shipped from the east and everything's available to you. Every single thing. This is what people used to send the ancient kings. And it was only the kings that had this privilege. That's why I don't like when all of you people say conspiracy theories rather than the truth. Instead of conspiracy theorizing, why not just give the honest facts, blunt and true, as you know? Like, just immediately. What we as people of the media understand is something that's blunt and true, because we understand violence. When a wolf does that to you, you understand right away what it means. You don't have to question it, and it leaves you right away in a sagely presence, the same way that a lightning storm does, or the aftermath of a tornado does. That's pretty much what the sage is. The shock of lightning, the tornado, an expression that's very blunt and clear. Not a sneaky snake. That's why all the best masters are against the sneaky snakes. A television show or movie, a movie is actually more of a sneaky snake than a television show is. Because a television show has the commercials, they sneak in the commercials there, but you know about commercials. And with this new day and age, commercials aren't so bad as the fact that we've involved commercials into everything now. Even the YouTube's there, and commercials have come back. So it's when you can watch a movie for free on Netflix, or when you can watch a movie for free streaming, and when you can watch a movie for free on YouTube, or when they're free streaming on television, a movie keeps you locked in for 2 whole hours. But when something in you decides, I'm gonna watch this whole thing, you don't want to leave, because you don't want to miss the other parts of it, and you don't want to feel ignorant to the other parts of it. Because if you watch the whole thing, then you know all of it. If you only watch a bit of it, then you're ignorant to everything else of it. And at some point in time, when watching that movie, when you get locked into it, it has the power over you. You're chained to it. You're locked and chained to it. And it takes someone with presence to understand that they need to have their own presence within themselves to witness other people watching television like this, glued to it for 2 hours, and to decide and differentiate whether you should step out from that or not. You've watched enough movies to differentiate other movies and what makes a good movie. So you have to decide for you if you should step out or not. Most people decide, the mind decides for them. But I'm saying you have to decide for you, not your mind decide for you. Most people, their minds decide for them. What does that mean? That means their mind has control of them. That means the mind's gonna decide. You're gonna watch everything. Whatever this movie is, you're gonna watch it. Whatever this is, you're gonna watch it. It's whatever. You're just trying to entertain yourself. It'll sneak in the rationale to you. Oh, you're just trying to entertain yourself. It's okay. Or sneak in a different rationale. Oh, yo, you have nothing to do. You have time to kill. Just watch this movie. You can tell your friend about it. Or that type of thing. Your mind rationales that way in every way possible for you to get you to do something. Who you are is the you that differentiates between the rationale that your mind gives you. Your mind's pretty much a commentator and a rationalizer. Your mind gives you all this rationale to help you, but when at some point in time the mind said to you, yo, just forget about you, just stick with me, be me, because I have more rationale now than you, and you don't know anything, so just let me take over. And then at some point you give up at the person. Well, most people do. 99.9% of people do. And then at some point in time, their mind rules them more than their inner identity that's connected with their spirits. It's a tough thing to say. It's hard to look at your own mind and to say, I am the mind already. But to look for that mind to look at the past and at the point where that mind took over is impossible, because the mind is not going to look at itself. The mind is what wants to look at everything else. It's yourself initially for any sannyasin or any monk or any bodhisattva. Initially, it's their self that wants to look inside their self. It's never their mind that wants to look inside themselves. The mind isn't what wants to meditate. The mind can trick itself to try to meditate, just so that you as yourself forget about meditation. But what initially drives a bodhisattva, or what initially drives a Zen monk, or a training shaman, is to look within themselves. When a shaman does all his ceremonies to the training shamans, he blows smoke onto them to point towards inside them, to say, look within yourself. Using words that I can't use, or words that you might take wrong, I know you're not gonna misinterpret this smoke. And they blow a cloud of smoke towards you to represent that look within. And it's the best way to become a shaman, is to look within yourself. So all these mystical people who are training to become spiritual beings, it's their inner self, their inner guide that points inwards, and it's everything that's the mind that points outwards and that convinces you to look outwards.